Vice President of Research and Innovation Wing, Telangana chapter, welcome you all to the day 2 of the training program on entrepreneurship and innovations, organized by Research Foundation of India, RFI-CARE, and sponsored by JHERF, World Federation of Science and Technology, International Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Association, Edu Academy INC. Today, I take the privilege of introducing our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Amrita Chaurasia, who has completed her MBA, PGDHR, and PhD in Management. Ma'am is presently working as an assistant professor in the School of Commerce, Finance, and Accounting at Christ deemed to be University, NCR campus, Ghaziabad. Dr. Amrita has 15 years of rich teaching experience in the field of management. Her teaching interest encompasses banking and insurance, entrepreneurship, and research methodology. Along with the IQSC work, she is taken care of the professional courses run at the university. She has done a faculty development course from IIM Indore. She has participated in and completed Women's Entrepreneur Program from NSRCL. Dr. Amrita has completed a course on entrepreneurship, innovation, and commercialization from IIM Bangalore to explore how management is applied in the world of business. Her patents include conceptual framework of artificial intelligence in human resource management and designing and delivery of e-service quality of mobile banking. Dr. Amrita was awarded the Best Innovative and Dedicated Faculty Award 2020. She has contributed to the publication of 3 books, served as a guide, co-guide, and principal investigator, co-PI in numerous intramural and extramural research initiatives. Dr. Amrita has published and presented various research papers at numerous national and international platforms. Dr. Amrita is a member of CII Association of India, Research Foundation of India. Ma'am, I welcome you on all the behalf, and now you can continue the session, ma'am. Hello, Dr. Amrita, ma'am. Dr. Amrita, ma'am.
Ma'am, she is
Yes.
facing some technical issues. She is joining in a minute.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Yes.
Dear participants, there is a technical issue at the expert's side, so she'll be joining us soon.
Dr. Amrita, are you there? Dr. Amrita, have you joined?
No, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening,
Good
Parul ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Good evening, Amrita, ma'am. You can start the session, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
In order to prepare a business plan, let us first understand what is business plan is all about. I'll just share my screen with you people. I hope this is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. So let's start with the business plan making. But before making, we just want to have a glimpse of what is business plan and why we are writing. See, business plan is something that we have to understand. Few basic things about business plan. The first primary thing of business plan is there is a certain purpose for which we have started our business, and after starting the business we have to look forward for which what are our objective. It's the clear purpose behind this business plan. Sometimes we prepare this business plan in order to submit it into the classrooms. Sometimes we are prepare this business plan in order to get funding. Majorly the business plan is prepared with a purpose so that we can represent it in front of the investors, or for the people to have a clear cut guidelines about what we are about to do, from where we are starting, what we exactly do, how we are doing 3 years down the line, where our business will be look like, and where we at the end of the particular execution of the plan, where our capital budgeting will be done, and when we get our entire business to be executed on. So the a clear roadmap kind of thing will be there into business plan. So our objective preparing a business plan must be clear. The first objective is what is the purpose of the business plan, why we are preparing it. Second objective for business plan, who reads this business plan and what they are looking for. See, everyone is looking forward for business plan from their own perspective, but we need to make sure that in our business plan we need to describe what are important for us. In case of funding, majorly business plan are be prepared for the part of funding. We represent it in front of investors, banks, and financial institutions, also into the competition sometimes, so that these people will understand what is our business and why we are unique. They are looking forward for how much return you will be giving to us, or how much uniqueness your business will be giving to the society, and what kind of contribution your business will be laying to the society. That all this is something we need to understand, what for whom we are addressing this particular business plan for. After that, we need to have clear cut guidelines about what we need to be follow in an effective business plan, like a executive business plan and executive business plan. We need to understand that these are the guidelines, these things must be there into a business plan, so that we will follow that particular guidelines. I'll share with you the guidelines about this in a format subsequently, so that this format will help you up in order to prepare your business plan whenever you have been representing your business plan, or you are in a process to prepare a business plan, you can execute the same. After that, you need to identify and describe the suggested outline of a business plan, that these are the suggested outline. Under this particular paragraph, you need to include certain things which are really very important for a business plan. Then we prepare and present in front of you a effective business plan. You'll be able, after the session, you'll be able to develop and explain a effective business plan and present this business plan to the potential investors. So looking forward for the bank and other things, we consider them into the form of investors. Okay, so let us understand a business plan. A business plan is a written narrative, typically 25 to 35 pages long. Yes, it is 25 to 35 pages long. It's not just 5 pages business plan that we can represent in front of the committee or investors. Into a long business plan, we need to describe about our plannings, and how we are accomplishing this planning. So our business plan is a dual use document. How it is use document, ma'am? You're already saying it is about investors. Then now you're saying that it is a dual use. That I'll explain why dual use, because for most of the new ventures, the business plan is a dual purpose document, because they can use it both side, inside the organization as well as outside the firm. Because when a business is new, planning is one of the important procedure, that how they need to move. As I mentioned, that a business plan is a roadmap. Under with the help of this roadmap, they will be easily able to execute about what's into this business plan, and what are the rest of the things which they have been covering into a business plan. Also, a business plan is also one of the lean canvas. I mean, we can use a lean canvas with the help of this business plan, under which we will mention about what is our business, why we are unique, what are the basic roadmap under which we need to follow it up. Also, we have to understood about the basic things about business execution and the background of the business. So these are the some of the basic things. Even in an organization, when we are talking about why we are using business plan as insight, because we have prepared. In sometimes in a business there are 2-3 partners, and all these partners used to work upon this business plans, and also they are looking forward for the what is the next step and where we can move ahead. With the help of business plan only, people will be able to understand the feasibility of a business. That I'll let you know what is feasibility and how feasibility work a lot. But initially, a business plan used to utilize an insight in an organization a lot. And this will help business plan to gather actual budget, and it will be prepared a list of actual capital required for business. What are the operating expenditure needed in this order? Also, they'll generate the first revenues of this business, right? So with the help of this business plan inside of the organization, they also understand what is the startup cash needed, how they utilize, who are their 3 Fs, that is friends, family, and other people who can fund them into their business, whether they need to go for self-financing or they are going for equity or a debt or crowd. So all these things details are available into a business plan, which is what every individual is requiring. Fine. So we have understood that a business plan is a written narrative. First thing. Second thing, we have understood it's a long descriptive thing. Third thing that we have understood is about it's a dual use document inside the organization as well as outside. Now moving ahead, we understand who reads our business plan and what they are looking forward for. See, we need to be very, very clear about there are 2 primary audiences for every business plan. Who are these 2 primary audiences? Okay, let me ask you people. What is your stake? Who are the audiences who are looking forward for a business plan? As I mentioned, a firm's employee and investors. Is there anyone else into your mindset that be an organizer or being one of the person into an organization? You can mention this into the comment as well. Dear audience, let me have some words from your side, that to whom you think your business plan has been addressed for. Is it your class teacher? Is it your subject respective teacher who is asking for a business plan? Or is it someone else, your investors? You can write into your chat box. Parul ma'am, I hope the chat box screen is open and they will respond respectively. Renuka, Sabarsh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Renuka ma'am. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shilpi. It's a society. Yes, ultimately, is the broader part is the society who is for whom we are actually been addressing our business. So, looking forward ahead into to whom who is our audience and to whom we are looking forward into our business plan are the 2 people. One is the audience, another is the firm employee. The firm employee they are basically, as I earlier mentioned, they are the person who wanted to know what is our next step. where we have to move. Initially, we are done the planning part. We understood that the entrepreneur is a first person, is a one person, first person who has got the idea, who wanted to execute it. And remember, only getting an idea is not fulfilling the purpose of a business plan. Business plan fulfills how you execute it. As you remember, there are n number of ideas available with a certain product or the certain service. I mean, for each individual services, you may got 100 of the people who are been doing that particular kind of services, but everyone is unique into their own way, like a human being. Everyone is unique. They have their own quality, they have their own contributions, and all have a different ways to doing different things. That's why there are difference in opinion, and there are certain synergies as well, because a similar thing can be done by two people differently and both are doing it beautifully. So there are multiple ways of doing a simple task. So that's why business plan is the important part, because it is just not an idea generation, it is execution of the idea. With you, so many times you have seen that a business is fall, or a business lot of entrepreneurs are not been executing their business idea for a longer period. It's why, because they are planning, because the execution has been failed. So in order to keep your execution effective and 100% authentic, a firm employees need to go with the clearly written business plan, which helps them to the employees of a firm to operate in synchronization also, and to move forward in a consistent and a purposeful manner. Why here we are focusing more on a purposeful manner? Because whatever vision and mission are been designed in a business plan by a owner or an entrepreneur who's the idea creator of that business, is been basically looking forward for that. This is my vision, and this is I wanted to create into the society. I want to bring this change into the society. That's why I'm looking forward to execute this into effective manner. That's why every time when we are talking about strategic or strategy, or we heard the word strategy, or we heard about mission and vision of an organization, we need to understand that investors and other external stakeholders are really very important. As mentioned by Dr. Shilpi, that we need to address to society in a broader term. We need to understand what impact my business or my activities will be giving to the society. Moving ahead with this respect, if our business plan is a societal or a social entrepreneur, then in this context, we need to understand what kind of social problem we are addressing. So the firm, a business plan must make the case that the firms is a good use of an investor's fund or the attention of others. Attention of others, again, they're addressing to society. Is it a social entrepreneur? Is it a family business oriented? Or are we taking our family business into a second stage? Or are we looking forward, see our family business entirely into cloth segment? We are going for diversification, or we are bringing up something new to the business, or we are bringing something new to the society, that we need to understand into very, very broader way. So these are the two primary audience of a firm's business plan, and we need to understand it from our audience perspective. Like here, our audience is mainly professors and mainly professors. I think Irene Babu, you have a question. Would you like to ask something? You have raised your hand. Irene Babu, would you like to ask something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we should continue with her, because we have already, due to technical issues, like it took some time. So now let us move ahead to understand the guidelines of writing a business plan, which is really very important for us. So moving ahead, we need to understand about the structure of a business plan. Okay, I wanted to show you a sample business plan, under which the kind of business plan we used to share with banks, and this is one of the format I'll share with you. Mostly I'll share with the Parul ma'am, and hopefully Parul ma'am will share with you. This is a basic format of a business plan, under which entire detail about how business plan will be executed on will be given. So just a rough draft of writing a business plan. You can see this particular business plan, and after that we'll understand about the structure of a business plan. Okay, I'll share with it, but I'll show you the business plan. Basically, a business plan, the structure of a business plan is under which we make best impression of a business plan that should follow a conventional structure, such as outline for the business plan, which is shown into this particular chapter. That chapter I wanted to show. It's basically a Word file of 25 pages, under which there is a clear-cut instructions. Uh, Due to some technical issues, I'm not in a condition to show you, but I'll show. I'll share the similar with the Parul map so that they'll have the details with. After that, we need to understand the entrepreneurs wanted to demonstrate creativity, departing from the basic structure of the conventional business plan, and which is usually a mistake. We understood that basic structure is a conventional business plan is something under which we have mentioned that this is a business idea. Here we are looking forward. This much is the capital needed. This much is the capital budgeting part, and that is how our capital budgeting will be done. So into 2.5 years. So please give us money for 2.5 years, and our ROR or the rate of interest or the return on investment will be 6%. So kindly give us money. So this is a conventional business plan under which people do not wanted to just simple look into it. People wanted to got a detail because they are trusting you, they are spending their money, their hard-earned money with you, they are actually investing into you. So typically investors are busy people and they wanted a plan where they can easily find critical information. What we mean by critical information is where their money are being used and what are the basic criteria where their monies are being consumed, and is this the actual one that you are quoting or you're quoting a higher one or on a higher side. So here we need to understand into the structure of a business plan, what kind of software packages, what kind of help we are been using into it. So there are many software packages available that employ an interactive menu driven approach to assist in writing of a business plan. But here we would like to wanted you to develop you in order to write your business plan by your own. So some of these programs are really very helpful, but however, entrepreneurs should avoid a boilerplate or a plan or that looks like through it can be from a canned source. Candid source is basically it should not be we should not suggest you to moving ahead with the same. We are actually wanted you to work on your business plan by your own. So there will be a sense of an excitement into it, and also there will be something that you have achieved by your own, and you remember the facts and figures of your business plan by your own, so that whenever people will ask you, sometimes people will ask you to walk along with them and explain your business plan. So here you require minute details of your business plan within anticipation and excitement about the possibilities that surrounds to a new venture. What are the possibilities where this business plan can be move ahead if it is not been working into that particular direction. So in order to looking forward for the content of the business plan should have give clear and concise information about the business. It will provide information about all the important aspects proposed venture. Also they will also give a detailed information where information will be sufficient. There should not be shortcuts or very short enough information that if say for example I'm making a paper cup or I'm making a biodegradable cups, or I'll be making a cutlery, edible cutlery. So in that scenario, showing just pictures is not enough. I need to make sure that where I can consume this cutlery, from where I can source, how I can manufacture, what is my raw material, how I build up this particular raw material, what are the machinery by which how much is the shelf life about my product, and rest of the things. That is, so for most of the plans 25 to 35 pages is sufficient. Under this your entire business plan will be covered, but sometimes if the length goes beyond, you can extend it, but make sure that your investors will understand each and every parameter of your business plan. So there are basically three types of business plan which are shown on the next slide. Let me show. Okay, so there are three types of business plan under which the business plans are been mentioned and written. Usually guidelines for writing a business plan, under which the types of business plan that we have been showing here, the summary of a business plan, under which we'll just doing a executive summary. That this is what I'm showing. I'm saying, about the what is the summary, executive summary about business plan. So this is basically a 10 to 15 pages business plan, under which work best for the new venture in early stages, where they don't have even have a prototype also. They just come up with an idea. They have gone through with the idea generation process or idea elimination process or making a lean canvas. This is executive summary, or this can be made up after just a lean I can say lean canvas also. In this regard, I should show you a lean canvas. Lean canvas is basically one of the document, which is a one-pager document. That document is basically used into some of the business plans also. Some people used to use it and mention it that this is one of the business plan, and they'll execute on the basis of this. But this is just a sample, a very raw blueprint. Under this blueprint, they simply mention about how this lean canvas will look like, and what are the rest of the parameters where they can actually been using this particular products. They will be gathering an information and showing it as an impact about the lean canvas. I'll just show you how lean canvas is actually look like. This is an example of executive business plan. I'll share the PPT. Komal, don't worry. After completion, yes, Rishikesh, surely share the PPT. I wanted to share with you the lean canvas, which is basically one of the basic business plan or an executive business plan. Probably visibility will be a concern. Okay. Is it a clear visibility to you people about this lean canvas?
No, ma'am, it's not clearly visible. Only
not-
the headings are visible, yeah.
Okay, yeah, headings are there. Okay, I'll share the lean canvas as well with you, PPTs, and as well as the sample business plan also. Sure, sir. Okay. Now, looking forward for ahead, this is one of the strategy called as business plan strategy, under which key partners need to be mentioned. Who are the key partners? Who are the person who are actually been active in this particular business plan? After that, we'll be mentioning about what are our key activities, what key activities we are performing, and what is our value proposition. Value propositions is something that we required, which value proposition, and under which what is our distribution channel, is our customer relationship is our key role, or how we are sharing our revenue proposition. So this is one of the important strategy called as lean canvas under business plan. Now, value proposition is also one of the important parameter under which our distribution characteristics, customer relationship, or revenue strategies are been clearly mentioned. Then afterwards, customer relationships. Who are our customers and how we are maintaining our relationship with them? Are we directly in connect with them? Are we connecting them with the mobile app, or are we connecting them directly through a WhatsApp app? And what are our basically channels in order to maintain our customer relationship? Or we are been working on toll-free number? That depends personally with the customers to the venture relationship. Then we have customer segments. Customer segments are the same customer segment. Working on to marketing funnel, we'll be understanding whether our customer is being into which category segment. If they are into age group, what are their age group, and based on the different segments, we scattered our customers into it. After that, we need to understand about key resources. Key resources are the basically value proposition inputs under which we understood that these are the basic. Say for example, in a case of consultancy, if I'll be hiring and if I'll be providing a consultancy of management consultancy, so under this, the team, my core team is my key resources. My way of executing and analyzing a business, or giving them certain inputs or the strategies or the background that I have is my key resources. So ultimately, my knowledge is my key resources. Depend on the kind of key resources that every individual venture will have. After that, we have channels. So channels is through which channels are through which we have been addressing this different customer segments. So this is one of the format of a lean canvas. With the help of this lean canvas, people actually been preparing their business ideas, and also they are representing it in front of the small audience, where they have been very, the audience will, or the target to whom we are preparing our business plan, will have a very less timings. After that, we have cost structure, from where we are keeping, how much money we are utilizing, and how we are utilizing it best. What is the exactly MRP, or what is the basically cost price of our product that we have been quoting in front of about our product or our services that we have been going to quote to clients. This is our financial viability of our project. After that, the revenue streams, from what are the sources from where we are earning in this particular business plan. So these are the things that this will work into lean canvas, and how this lean canvas will be effective. This is come into the category of business plan or executive business plan. This executive business plan also requires sometimes. Yes, we call this as a lean canvas, because this is basically like into one particular segment. We are actually been describing all the possible parameters of a business. That's why it's a short, crisp, and very small canvas. Canvas, in a sense, this is very small, like into canvas. A artist actually trying to drawing a scenario, a story, or a background behind this thing. Similarly, here into lean canvas, a business executive is trying to execute and preparing about giving the best possible stages, and how it determines investors will are interested into the idea generation part, and how they are getting return about their capital. So this two things they will get from this particular. After that, a full business plan, under which 25 to 35 pages detailed business plan will be available, under which they will mention about what is a new business project, and how they will be executing, what kind of funding they will be needed, and from where they will be utilizing their funding, and what is exactly the blueprint, from which stage they have started and where they are be ending up. After that, operational business plan, where we are being keen, which is what it is needed a lot into the organization itself, inside the organization. So operational business plan is 40 to 100 pages long. It is meant primarily for internal audience, and it works best for tool for creating a blueprint of an organization in case of new venture is connected. Um, Guidance to the operational managers also. So here in this guidelines of a business plan is reconnecting of elements of business plan, and this may be changed based on the requirements of an individual organization. It is important to recognize that a business plan is usually changed while written. New insights are already been given in this business plan. It's basically invariably emerged with an entrepreneur or a team of entrepreneurs which are been writing a business plan and starting to get a feedback from the same. Now let us look forward and move ahead with the outline of a business plan, so that because the business plan has been detailed and these are the strategies. Ideally, the business plan has these strategies which are related with the financial background and the strategical background. What is the strategy that where this particular individual person has been looking forward for? So as suggested into business plan outline, that see several slides, that the most of the business plan include elements which basically introduce from a sample plan and to the complete picture where the business plan wanted to execute and going ahead. As I mentioned you, this particularly executive summary are the summary of a business plan. Under which this executive business plan summary, there is, as mentioned, short overview. A reader got the outline about entire business, new venture, and distinctive nature. We can use lean canvas in this respect as well, but lean canvas is very smaller and a crisp version. So we need to go ahead in detail. Even through the executive summary appears to the beginning of a business plan, it was written into the last. But this is one of the important aspect while we are going for taking a business plan ahead. So key insight into the business plan is instance. That investor will ask about what is the firm's executive, who are the partners of that particular firm, how this entire plan will move ahead, and what are the basic selection criteria in this business plan. After that, this is the first section under which you'll be explaining about the partners or the key members or the key resource person. After that, section second starts when we are talking about the industry analysis of that particular business plan. So someone is actually being giving a business plan of educating, or someone is into the business plan of making or manufacturing something edible cutlery. So with this respect, in industry analysis, this particular business has been showing us the selection, and it should begin by describing the industry where this business is. Here we need to mention clearly about the terms of the business, the size, the growth rate, the sales projections. Now, talking about sales projections, yes, you need to give sales projection. Why it is necessary to give sales projection is because this is something which is really very important, where people have been looking forward how much product or how much do you think it is feasible in order to in business to be saleable. How much people will be actually been looking forward to buy your product, and what do you think in how many days, how many product you will be able to sell, or services you will be catered, and how many people you will be able to pitch in order to provide the services. Okay, Erin Babu, would you like to ask any question? Yes, you have raised your hand. Okay, fine. Anyone has any doubt with respect to industry analysis? Fine, thank you. So, in order
Doctor,
to, yes.
yeah, industrial analysis can be done based on the nature of the industry, or we need to go into details of the industries.
So it's basically for which thing we are looking forward. Say, for example, if I'll be looking forward for my product is paper cup or edible cutlery, then in this order, I need to go forward for how much is the consumption of that particular food industry, and how this food industry will be going on. Say, for example, if food industry has not been growing due to any of the kind of thing that the grains are not appropriate, or maybe the trend has been moving ahead, the inflation rate are going on, or it will be reducing on. So both the things are been impacting this particular industry. So we need to understand that if an industry has a strong growth rate, that industry has been growing over a period of time, that means our businesses also have a chances to grow with the industry particularly. If I'm talking about, if you can see the other industries, technology industries or telecom industries. So in case of telecom industries, if Idea Cellular, if someone come with a mobile phone of a paper mobile phone, or a phone with a single usage call, so in that scenario, they need to understand the basic industry that every telecom industry have been looking forward and moving ahead with the 5G and 4G. So 5G technologies are been adopting by them. Now the growth rate is going high. If someone has launched about one of the telecom or a telecom product, then in that scenario, they need to understand what is the size of industry, how much the sales projection, how much mobile phones they'll be able to pitch with a particular SIM base, 5G technology SIM base. If they're coming up with a 4G, but into 4G with some different attributes. So in that direction, they need to understand where the market will be. They need to go to Africa market rather than going into Indian market or the China market. The China, we have already understood that they are far ahead into technologies, into US and UK also. So in that scenario, they need to give industry analysis about where our product will be or our services will be pitched to. Say, for example, I'm into consultancy business. So in this regard, I need to understand and give projections relevant to it. That is why we have been asking about size of industry, growth parameters, industry structure, iron and steel industry. As you know, if someone come up with one of the business solution, that alternative fuel resources which are being used and utilized into cement industries. So cement industries are the one who are using natural resources called as coal into very high volume, and they cannot work without coal. So in that scenario, they need to look forward for alternative fuel resources, and they are working up with other solutions. And now they are producing from waste. They are producing the alternative fuel. Yes, sir. Mohammed Kadir, sir.
Doctor,
Yes.
yeah, doctor, regarding this one, the data or whatever information we are going to get it, it is
Mhm.
tentatively based. Yeah, am I right?
So it will be great if we can give, nowadays we've got n number of report and n number of data, like from economic outlook or from industry analysis, right? And number of researchers are been there who are actually providing us industry inside of the industry what is going on. So if we can give, rather than tentative, if we can give the actual projection, it will be great in order to achieve our funding requirement. Although for a
How
timing,
do
if we can, if we are representing for an educational purpose, yes, we can give the tentative data. But sir, it will be great if we can give statistics from the strong sources of research firms, or from some reliable sources like CMI database, or if we are been using other databases which are already being there in a system and people are relying over it. So
so
that's
how
something.
can we validate, ma'am? How can we validate the data?
So that depends on that data, and validation will be giving with the authentic sources that we are quoting. If I'll be quoting national news and I'll be quoting Times of India news, and here I'll be giving the authentic resources. That resources are reliable and people are trusting them. That's something that the reliable sources, how much reliable. If I'll be, if something information regarding banking industry and I'll be quoting RBI report, that means my source is authentic. I do understand that RBI sometimes manipulate certain data and they are not giving the actual pictures. But in that scenario, we in India, we have, this is our wholesale source and we need to rely on them. If I'm giving any other source and I'll be giving RBI source, we have to, authenticate into them. We have to believe on the same. So that's why we need to code that. And our funding agency will also be looking forward and understand, yes, their statistics are appropriate. So what are the key success factors also? So we need to quote about key success factors, where there's what kind of structures are there, who are the major participants into our business, and how they are been related with that particular industry trends. So the fundamental and technical analysis that we used to do into our fundamental and technical analysis, security analysis classes, right? So under which basis on this we have decided about. Just a second, sir. Okay. So based on this, we'll understand about industry trends and what is the long-term prospectus of our business. So in order, if we are investing, we need to make sure that our investor will stay with us for a longer period, because we cannot make investments only for a shorter period. And after that, if the investors will ask, no, we'll want our return and kindly give us our return back. So before giving them the return back, we need to make sure that they will stay back with us for at least for 3 years or 5 years, because our vulnerability will be requiring based on that. So before a business selects a target market, it should have a good grasp about that industry, including whether it's a promising areas or where these areas have a vulnerability area or not. So the industry that a company participates in largely defines the playing field, and where they have been actually firm will be participating in. That is how they have to, deal with. Like I mentioned, that Geocycle is one of the organization which actually make plastic, alternative fuel resources into plastic form, but they are providing this particular alternative fuel resources to whom, to companies where a huge amount of energies or huge amount of resources are being utilized. So cement industry is one of them. So they actually, from the cement clean, they are manufacturing this alternative fuel. So this is how they produce from the waste of that industry. They again giving them as a resources, as a raw material to burn in and get their products manufactured. So this is how they need to. After that, sir, a detailed description about company. What kind of company is it? Who are the company stakeholders? How they actually got this idea? How they are connected with that idea? History about if they have already been doing this particular thing in the previous years, if they have so many successful ventures, and this time they come up with a new idea. So that they need to mention about mission statement, vision statement. They need to give products and services, status about the company, legal status and ownership about the company. All they need to mention all these things into very very clear and very very authentic sources. They need to clearly mention who are their partners, what are the qualities of a partner, how long the partners will be, how partners are strongly associated with that idea. So these things they need to give clearly in the form of company description. They need to give into glance about what is important and why it is extremely important. They need to demonstrate their leaders about how this idea turns into business. Someone has come up that I can eat the cutlery after using it. So how this idea comes, what triggered them up to bring this idea into practical, what things are more required in idea to make a prototype. Are they into prototype, or they made their prototype but they didn't make, and what requires more in order to make a prototype? Have they seen some similar kind of product somewhere else? If they have seen and their competitors are there, until the later stages we also understand who are our competition and why we are different, so that they need to be build certain strategies with this respect. So a detailed company description is required into the section third of the business plan, which is very important. Again, now there is a difference between industry analysis and a market analysis. Industry analysis gives us clear picture about requirement of the industry, say telecom industry into which stage 2, 4G, 2G, 3G, or 5G, or which industries aspect. Now market analysis, that market analysis basically give us where there is a saturation into the market or not. Is there any space to enter in a market or not? Nowadays you have been seeing a lot of people have been entering into tea business, like chayos, you can see MBA chai wala, you can see every outlet there is a rabdi chai wala. So different players who are come up with different ventures. But initially if you see 2 years back down the line, where you can see that the entire market of the food or the food service provider, especially for the tea market, there is no market up to at all, because people prefer that coffee is something for the different class of people and tea is for the different class of people. So here the market will not take tea as a main beverages, although they consume a lot, but they do not mark it as a special class. So under this we need to understand very clearly about market analysis, market segment, market detail, or these things they need to do in detail order. So the market analysis breaks the industry into segments and zero in and one into specific segment, that which kind of market segment they are in, which is their firm will try to appeal. Items to include in this section is basically market segmentation, as I clearly mentioned, where we are customer segment will be how into what segment we are out there. We are been targeting to 0 to 5 years age children, or we are targeting about 5 to 15 years age of children, or we are talking about teenagers children where 16 to 21 age of children are been there. Then we are talking about the younger age children from 21 to 30. We need to understand what is our segmentation. Based on the segmentation we need to decide about target market selection, and after that we need to understand the consumer buying behavior. How our consumer is actually right now buying, and what unique thing that we are giving to our customer. Yes, we need to understand market analysis a little longer in this respect, because why? Because we need to understand mindset of our customer in order to pitch them. It's not only giving an product or services will always be a concrete result. It's something that sometimes we need to understand if customers buying behavior or wallet share is into some on a lower bucket. We need to try to enhance them by giving some different kind of strategies. So here we need to build analysis, competitor analysis, and how competitor analysis, if like as I mentioned into earlier slides, that who are our competitors, how our competitors are actually been providing services to into the market, and how best they are been dealing with. Now, into market analysis, most of the startups do not provide their services to the entire industry. That's true, but they need to be specifically focused on the services area or the product area where they are been targeting, whether they have been targeting within the industry or they are been addressing to different industries as well. So it is really very important in order to deal with the market analysis, to understand about the customer behavior, as well as to understand whether our target audience, the segmentation, this thing we need to do it very appropriately, because it will give importance from both the perspective. In order to understand our market, we need to look forward for customers' buying behavior and sharing of their wallet share with the competitors. So up to now, we have understood the 4 sections of our business plan. The first thing, that is executive summary. It is almost like a summary about our business plan, but the detailed business plan. If our business plan is of 35 to 40 pages, then executive summary will be a smaller version. After that, we have understood about industry analysis, where we need to understand what is the trend going on that particular industry and how industries are reciprocate about the same. Then we have understood about company description, that who are we and why we are important for the society, what unique thing we can bring in into the society. That comes into our company description. After that, we have understood about market analysis. So under market analysis, we have understood that our market is something that to which company, which segment we are dealing with, how we need to segment, and why it is really very necessary to segment our customers, and why our customers are being approachable, and what approach is best in order to approach our customer. Now we are looking forward from a broader perspective of our business plan, that is the economics of the business. This is purely related with the economics of scale. So here under section 5, okay, any doubt anyone has up to that section 4 of our business plan? I do not see the comments as now, and let me see. Okay. Okay, anyone else? Priyanka ji, anything, Priyanka Malhotra, any doubt as you have?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, so basically what we have covered, so now we have covered this 4 parts, 4 sections of our business plan. Now we are moving ahead with the section 5. So up to section 7 we are about to cover, and I'll try to cover it into sooner parts, so that we'll have a question and answer round into the later slides, right? Okay. Now moving ahead, we'll understand about the economics of business. Here in economics of business, we need to understand about the basic logic, how our profits are being earned. If I'll be talking about edible cutlery, again, the similar example. In that particular scenario, if I'll be selling a cutlery for 2 rupees, where into the market, the paper cups are being selling into 40 paisa, then how I'll be able to compete into the market? This is one of the economics of scale. Second economics of scale that I need to work about is, if I'll be selling, my competitors are, or the alternative product that is available into the market is of 40 paisa, and majority of the people who are consuming the beverages are into the lower income segment. So how will I be able to pitch my product? And all these things depend on the statistics that we have understood into market analysis. But here into economics analysis, we need to understand about, after the cost price, after the selling price of 2 rupees per cup, if I'll be giving this to the society will have utilize this thing as a very manner. Nowadays, I'll be pitching my product to the customers, to the people who are been dealing and delighting to the educated segment, not only educated segment, but a segment who will be able to afford this. So I need to go to focus on elite business, where my revenue drivers and profit margins will be easily available to me. I can give a clear picture that if my product cost is 2 rupees, I'll be easily able to make a sale of 4,000 cups in a day, or 5,000 cups in a day, because I'll targeting to a society where the people have been consuming 25,000 cups in a day. So here, if I'll be targeting 5,000 cups in a day, over a period of time, I'll be able to sell 150,000 cups in a month, and that will leads to my profit, which I need to give with the clear statistics. So I need to give them my revenue drivers as well as my profit margins. I need to make sure that how much profit I'll be earned after selling, say, 10,000 of the cups, and when I can reach my break even after 50,000 of cups, and I started earning profit out of it, because everyone is interested into profit, where I can get returns, how much returns I'll be getting. So people who are investing into our business are more interested into this segment called as economics of scale, and in this, revenue drivers and profit margins are been mainly being focused. Fixed and variable cost, again here, this thing something we need to make sure that initially we need to give them clear picture that how much my machinery will be. If I'll be using my machinery, is my machinery will have a how much lifespan of my machinery, how much is the variable cost required based on the raw material I produce and consume. But traveling charges, my freight charges, as well as my labor charges, some labor charges I need to keep fixed, and some I need to be on a variable. So I need to give very clear picture, so that when I give this clear picture, I'll be eligible to get subsidy on it. You'll very well know that a lot of business plans will get a funding, that got the funding from the banks, from the government agencies, and from other sources also, say angel finances or venture finances. So this venture finances are actually been looking forward how I'll maintaining my business. If I'll be maintaining and implementing my business, when I'll be able to maintain my operating leverage. If I'll mention that my machinery is of 12 lakhs, and I'll be asking for a funding of say 20 lakhs, so how it will be run, how I'll be able to manage my operating leverage. So in order to ask for a funding, I need to make sure that I'll give clear cut picture why this picture is important, not for investors, for me as well as inside my businesses. Because with this blueprint, I'll able to calculate, okay, in order to calculate and manufacture 150,000 cups, I need to have two machineries and respective 10 labors. That 10 labors actually been initially manufactured, and the raw material that I required will be at least of 5,000 rupees every day I required, because I'll be manufacturing 5,000 cups. So at least of rupees 5,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 rupees of the raw material on a daily basis I require. So in that, my cost of leverage and my cost of capital, and if I'll be giving these goods onto the credit basis, will I be able to recover my credit into 21 days or not? If I'll be able to recover into 21 days, then my break even will be on right time. Otherwise, my startup cost will be higher, because initially I need to invest by my own. So in that scenario, asking for just for 20 lakh rupees is not enough. I need to ask for 50 lakh rupees respectively. Then only I'll be able to succeed into the market. If I'll be asking about 12 lakh rupees is my machinery cost, and I'll be just asking 20 lakh rupees, so in that scenario, I'll be end up into doing nothing, or it will be very difficult for me after this 20 lakhs has been invested, and I'll be on a stage where I required more fund, but since I have already been taken money, people are not ready to pay me more. So in that scenario, I need to calculate all this cost, my revenue drivers, my profit margin, my fixed cost, variable cost, operating leverages, its implications, startup cost, break even chart and calculations. All these things I need to calculate and give into clear picture. This is really very, very, very important part of your business plan. Based on this business plan, people are being achieved to get a lot of funding, and believe me, a huge amount of projects are being funded on the basis of effective economics of scale. If people represented effective economics of scale, they themselves are getting very clear idea about their business, as well as they will be able to deal with their business into very lavishly. They got idea by themselves, and they'll easily to explain to others as well. More majorly, people are looking forward for break-even analysis, because this is extremely and very, very important part of business plan. Without this, the industry, the people are actually been facing a lot of difficulties. So this is a very important part of a company analysis. They need to make sure that with the high margin and low business volume, they'll be finding. I mean, although the margin is high, but the volume is low, so they need to put a lot of efforts in order to make this business into high volume. It has been recommended that they make sure that the method, the approach, the input calculation they have given with respect to economics of scale should be very, very authentic, visible, and up to the mark. So they'll have a the clear indicator. They also know that this much amount I required in order to start this particular business idea. Else I should work on some other business idea. So this is how they need to work on this section number 5, which is really very important part. A majority of people ask questions relevant to it. Now, again, under the next cycle, section part 6 is the marketing plan. Earlier, we have seen at the marketing strategy, what strategy we are looking forward for. Now, this is a marketing plan, section 6. You may be getting this thing that, ma'am, you have already been covered into market analysis. Now, you'll be talking about marketing plan. So here, there is a difference between both the two. Under section 4, I'll be covering about what is our marketing strategies towards understanding to a particular industry. Now, this is a marketing plan under which we are being focused about complete marketing plan, which is focused on business when our product and services need to be sold and how we are being selling. Overall strategy of a business, marketing strategy about this business, again the 4 P's of a product, price, promotion, and distribution about that particular plan, how we are been placing it into the market, how we are wanted to address it, whether we are been addressing it as a premium product or we are just been looking forward for a number game, or we are been looking forward for a quality game. Are we into quality or into quantity, and to whom we are addressing, sales process, our cycles, when we are get a cash converted, and how much time it will be getting in order to convert our cash, what are the tactics that we are been using. In every business we need to use a lot of tactics and a lot of messages, methods through which we can promote our business. We are promoting digitally, or we are promoting to channel base, or we are promoting it through networking, or we are going it with the distribution or the traditional supply chain method. All these things that depend on entrepreneurs, how they wanted to execute. Either they wanted to go for advertisement or right now or not, either whether if how much fund they have been decided in order to have a actual marketing into the business, how they wanted to establish themselves as a premium brand, or just a normal brand, or someone who is able to provide and addressing each and everyone, or cater to address everyone's need. Although people wanted more customers, but sometimes we need to be focused on our quality in an initial phase, so that we'll be able to have a sustainability. It's really very necessary in order to provide startup plan, as well as articulating the marketing strategy, how we are positioning ourselves, how we make ourselves differentiation, how we are different from other competitors, how the competitors have been taking us. Are they taking as a competitor, or are they just understand, okay, they have just a water bubble which are come into and enter into the market? Is our marketing or the price is supportive? What kind of promotional mix or distribution strategy we are looking forward? As I mentioned, into distribution strategy, whether they are going for the entire supply chain cycle, like from a manufacturer to distributor, from distributor to retailer, then retailer to customer, or they'll be directly going to customer through website, through mobile app, or through communicating from a mobile phone. That purely depend on the what kind of marketing plan how they wanted to target themselves, whether are they going for promotion into marathon or not. All these things will come into marketing plan, and how much fund they are been looking forward for. Sometimes prototyping and manufacture of product will be done into smaller amount, but marketing took a huge amount, because everything is new. Establishing them into the market is really very important. So in order to give them a funding is really very important parameter. Now, this section 6 is about how we our product, our venture are being placed into the market. Now talking about designing and developing of a plan. Under designing and development of a plan, although we have understood the different 6 stages about a business plan, but we are developing a commonly new product or services, under which we need to include a section in business plan that focuses on the status of your development efforts, like uh, what are the challenges ahead, how we are been looking forward. If we are been asking about we have a proprietary issue, that is if our product requires certain trademarks or patents, do we have registration with the same? Are we allotted that particular type, or do we have copyrights before issuing certain kind of notes or articles or documents into public? Or do we are we licensed yet or not about informing about and selling about that particular product? So brand names, is our brand register, is our brand new? Are we going for a franchisee model? If we are going into franchisee model, then there will be how the franchisor will be look forward. Is there someone else who is already been into the business? Or if it is there, so we need to mention this as a challenge. So like a SWOT analysis, we always used to do threats of a business and challenges of a business. Here we need to also mention it with respect to development and designing, that we are designing because mainly we are seeing promising startups and will never get off ground because their product efforts and actual development of product and services will be difficult than thought. We always thought, I've got this idea that my mobile covers are made of silicon. Now I'll be providing a eco-friendly mobile phones which are being easily be dilutable into the environment. But have I imagined that? Is it applicable? Is it feasible? Now the picture comes into feasibility when we talk about operational plan. So in the operational plan, we need to think about outlines about how our business plan will be run and how our product and services will be produced. So here the feasibility, applicability or implementation part come into picture. We required a prototype of our product, or we are able to provide the services to the customer. Is customer happy with my services or not? I need to distribute this thing and do a pilot testing about operation of my business plan, because this will give us a stage, or this is giving us 2 stages criteria, where first stage is where we ourselves see ourselves where we are and how we are doing it now, what we are serving and how our customer perceive it and how our customer look into it. That is our main important role, that how customer look into that my product, my approach towards operating in particular. What is my location? Is my location very nearby to particular number of clients? Am I facilitate my facilities, my equipment, how I am unique from my competitors? All these things makes my business operations very important. And based on this, see, sometimes you visited to a coffee shop because you like the atmosphere, you like the infrastructure. This is a front stage. Sometimes you visit a particular restaurant because you like the taste of that. You don't know who's the chef out there, but you like the taste about it. You like the hygiene parameters working about that, which is not seen to you, but the way the food is presented and served to you will actually give you a clear understanding about how product is and how they have been delivering about it. This has actually been giving us a lot of input. So we need to make sure that the facilities and equipment that we are giving should be easily be understood by the customers. It will be short, crisp, how we are operating, what is our prototype, and where how our prototype will look like. That's why people actually wanted to have a sample with us. Okay, now let's move ahead with the management team and the company. Now, management team, as I've mentioned, we have already been informed about our partners and the key partners about who are ready to put fund and investment. We need to understand that the management team and the company structure under which we need to make sure that we have key management persons, that is to whom we are hiring, who are our board of directors, who are our advisors, who are our company structures that provide our company a strong background. Say I have a mentor with me into startups. Usually mentors are been there. mainly into educational institutions or outside, you'll be assigned a mentor for a period of time duration, and that mentor is your one of the core company advisor. They can be as a company a board of advisors. They can be helpful in terms of if you're designing that one is a chairman, one is an executive board member, one is a CEO, one is a managing director. All these things will be given over here, and here you need to give them into company structure. Whether your company has branches into simultaneously at one place, or you'll be having different only one execution plan, that purely depend. It's not necessary that it is your startup, so you cannot be open it into different places. It will be depend how you wanted to execute it. As I mentioned, idea is something just a uniqueness as a creativity, but implementation is the main thing behind this thing, and the team that we have is the backbone. With the help of the team, the investors are been relying on. They sometimes do not rely on idea, not on a business plan, but on a team, because team is the strength of a business plan. So under section 9, we need to showcase that why people trusted you, why you, and why trust. So that trusting part you need to build with the people. Now, let us understand about the overall schedule. Overall schedule about a business plan is including a major events, whether the incorporation of the venture is there, it's a partnership firm or is a sole entrepreneurs, or it's a partnership firm or a private limited company. All this incorporation details we need to give, whether the company has a MSME certificate or not, all these prototypes, whether they have completed or are in the process of, whether the facilities that they have is a rental one or they have their own, or what are the critical financing situation they are going through with, are they in a position to create financing solutions in a very strong manner or not, starting production, if the production has started or it is about to start, they are waiting for raw material to come, they are waiting for the finances to be done, or obtaining a first scale, how difficult it is to get the first sale done, and how much if they have been done, like into Shark Tanks, you might have seen that they have sold 5,000 customers, they have reached to 5,000 customers as of now. After sometimes they'll be reaching to some other customers base. So that depends on how much sale you have already been done and where you are right now, which milestone you're about to touch into the next business cycle. So this is something that overall business schedule or overall schedule is required before launching a business or into launching stage, or launch the stage, touch the people, but still wanted to move ahead into the life. Now the most important part comes into picture is financial projections. Financial projections are the one where you need to give projected. What we mean about projected is it has not yet been shown. But here we, like earlier we are showing that industry prototype, we can give certain imaginary or something that prototype. No, there we can give the clear picture, but here we can give certain projected one. That we assume that we'll be selling 150,000 cups in a year, in a month, and in a year we'll be easily able to sell near about 4 to 5 40 to 50 lakhs cups in a year, or say whatever the transaction that we have come up with, that we need to show into projected. If we have sale this much, we will, on the basis of the margin, we'll be able to earn this much, and on the basis of expenditure, we'll be able to deliver this much to the society. Once we are giving this much to the society, society will automatically will be clean, or all these things we need to first of all give like a format we have. This all formats we need to fill up into detail. Sources and uses of funds. I hope majority of you are being aware about finances, and these are the part of your financial management and financial analysis. So under the financial analysis, we have done fund flow and cash flow analysis. So sources and fund flow analysis, if you prepare under which sources and uses of fund statement are being prepared, that we need to prepare based on assumptions. Then we need to give certain assumptions in detail. After that, pro forma of income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statements, and ratio analysis. All these things are required from our side so that we will let them know that we are on a right track with the right things and the real-time projections. It's not easy, but yes, we need to give financial projections, because this is how they'll be able to understand the financial data. Not only understand, but they'll be able to develop an understanding that yes, they'll be getting the return over a period of time. Now, presenting the business plan to investors, you can give this presentation in the form of oral presentations. The first rule in making oral presentation is directions. You need to first, you have to have at least 15 minutes of the time duration will be allotted, and under which you need to be make sure that you'll present it effectively, smooth, and not well rehearsed, but you need to do a well rehearsed proposal before going in front of audience, so that you will be thorough with what kind of content you will be keeping on the slides. Slides should be sharp, not cluttered, and also there will be questions for feedback from investors that you need to be ready to implement and ready to express in terms of longer period. So all these things we need to make sure. Okay, now these are the things that we need to be, these are the 12 pointers that we are been keeping and showing into our slide share. That is, first thing, that you need to title slide, we need to mention. After that, you need to mention what is the problem that you are going to address. Third, you need to mention is about solution. Fourth, opportunity with the target market. Fifth, technology. Sixth, competition. Seven, marketing and sales. Eight, management team. Who is the team? Who are the partners? Whether the team is been who is working under it? Who is a finance manager? Who is a HR manager? Who will be doing what? Financial projections. How much time is needed? Income statement, balance sheet, and other statements. Ratio analysis and all. Current status, where we are now, where we are moving, and where we will reach. All things we need to mention. Financing sort and summary. So all these things are there. With respect to this, I'll be ready to answer your questions. I'll be really very happy if you people will ask me questions relevant to it. Although it's the content is a pretty larger, I'll try to give justice with this. If anyone has any doubts, please feel free to ask me. Yeah, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you said like you will be sharing the PPT, right? So you will be sharing it in all our mails, or how you will be sharing it?
See, I'll share with the Parul ma'am, Parul Sarda ma'am, or with to the organizer team. They will surely share the details with you.
Okay.
Will it be okay, or should I directly send to you?
No, ma'am, that's fine. But how many days it will take to reach us? Like when they will
Will be a
be
1 day or so. I'll just
one. Okay, okay.
I'll share into. If you want, I'll try to. I don't know whether into the classroom we have been able to share or not, but I'll try to share it into the group, and the group people will share you immediately.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank
Without
you.
any respect. Okay. Any doubt with respect to the PPTs and with respect to the other things? With the respect to the content, specifically content I'm talking about, because content is something which is really very important for us.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Clearly.
Yeah. Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday we understand how we have to do the copyright and patenting of that particular thing.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Whether for doing this project plan,
Yes.
whether that document should be with us, or before that we can start.
Ma'am, see, it will be great if you started before business plan, ma'am, because you'll be having a age into this business plan. Why? Because into the business plan, you can easily be able to quote it that, yes, I have got this copyright with me. So here people will have more, more authentic towards it. People started believing, yes, since you have registered.
Yeah.
People will strongly believe on this, because once you'll get registered and copyrighted, then whenever you are representing or presenting your business plan, people will not be copied it at any case.
Okay. Means it will be advantageous.
Yes, ma'am.
It will be advantageous for us.
Yes, ma'am. It will be advantageous so that no one else will copy it. Ma'am, when we are representing anything into the open forum, people will afraid that whether my idea will be taken away by people or something. I do not, something unique is there. This is my own creativity. So, ma'am, your creativity will be saved with you. If someone else has taken your this thing, you can very well say that "Yeah, I have already been copyright on over it, and I will be the one who is using it. So whomsoever has earliest date will get the benefit
Yeah.
out of it. तो
Yeah.
आपके पास में अगर पहले से है तो आपको ज्यादा बेनिफिट रहेगा.
Hmm. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Madam, I just wanted to ask is just like now students they normally make with a project report, a
Yes.
very big project report proposal. So which does not match with this business plan, right? So because
Sir, that depends. That is what I'm saying, sir. The students usually making a executive business plan. Business plan is basically, sir, it depends that I have shared the business plan out here in the format which is being required into banks or the investors. Usually whenever people are industrialists or people are going ahead to asking for funding purpose, no sir, say for example I have a land of 1 lakh square feet and I wanted to establish a plant over here for making paper cup or readable paper cup. So before giving it to the for education purpose, I can involve some 5-6 terms. This is okay, but for industry purpose, I need to go with this 12 pointers detailed because they will observe my business plan minute to minute. They will not just believe that okay, I don't know, that is okay for me, but for them it is not okay. They find it reasons for rejecting. So if a person will go with this particular business plan, detailed business plan, the chances of getting rejection is very very low, very minimal, because they already got all the answers. Whatever the question they'll ask, you will be into tips because you already calculated all this stuff. Because
Madam,
majorly the business plans got reject into market feasibility or into feasibility part. So
Madam, can be any corrected or which is already reviewed such type of business plan available to the public?
yes, sir, there are few business plan is already available to the public. If you want it, I'll share with you. If you can give me any projection towards specific industry, I'll share with that specific industry business plan with you. There's no issue, sir.
Plant, for example, bottling plant, uh, water plant. So I just wanted to know how the business plan is actually projected forward, because I think they go with the financial how is the means financial payback period, all the calculations that come through, which is a very big very big plan. So
Mhm.
I really I doubt because each and every year this plan always changes with the demands that are required. So, so, uh, so as you already said about the copyright also, I'm not very sure whether copyrights are being done with this reports.
Sir, in case of bottling plant, I need to search. Even I'm not very much sure, but yes, I'm sure because distilled water bottling plant is someone which is something which is really very much needed, and a lot of people, even in the pharma industries and the beverages industries, it is very much required. So people are working. Few of our people whom I know are doing their businesses, but that's a small business that they are doing with. But yes, business are doing in this regard. What we can do is we can ask these people or we can search it over resources. I hope we can find it up. It's that, but the statistics we need to modify it according to our requirement.
In this MSMEs come in picture, right? For this
Right.
small scale industries, micro industries, and all. So
Yes.
how BIS standards come into picture? Whether they are a requirement in this case for the business approach?
So for the bottling plant.
Not for bottling as a generic case, because each and every uh, uh, business development when you go with,
Mhm.
there are modules or there are some you can say standards which
Mhm.
needs to be detailed out. Just like now FSSAI is one which is related with the food industry, right? So like this, I think there is a very detailed versions which are there, and I think all these trade secrets, or you can say maybe such type of copyrights are not so easy. So I feel that there requires some you can say one PDF or one data which we can see through and we can understand, yes, what detail is done and how MSME is coming into picture in these areas.
See, sir, MSME is basically it's in case of startups, it's a medium and small scale industries authorized organization who actually being required whenever we are going for tendering process or we are quoting our business plan in front of banks or government institution or organization. They consider MSME certification as an authentic source, which basically been considered while our application is been reached to them. It's something that our all the papers are authentic, and we are being awarded this MSME certification based on the visit done by MSME persons, and the rebates also they'll be given to us with this respect. So in case of bottling plants, sir, I'm not very much sure, but yes, we need to look forward in it. We'll surely look after it, and definitely we'll get answers with this regard. Because see, this is something, it's a service area plant, a service and products both, but majorly people are doing it for the purpose of as a industrial buyer, not for the customers directly. This is basically B2B dealing, right? Into bottling plant.
I'm having academics now. I just wanted to ask this last question.
Yes, sir.
Academics, how universities are actually working on this EDP model, that is the EDP cell. People say there is a lot of funding which is happening.
Yes, sir.
So there is a lot of struggling of the teachers happening. The funds and all, and especially they also work on the business plan. So they first of all have the seed funding and all. So so here how the report is all about. We also have some to start up with this. So how the seed funds are raised through business plan.
So that depends on the forum. Like today we are present in one of the forum which has been set up by thankfully from Parul ma'am or the rest of the organizing committee. So likewise for seed funding and others, MSME used to organize events, and there is a CII is one of the forum under which we can represent our project. Also, banks are the one of the primary sourcer. Banks, I mean, we need to do licensing. To be very honest, chartered accountants and banks are the one of the strong connect through which we can understood that where the funding is, and they'll call for proposal. Sometimes they'll openly call for proposal, and they have mentioned this thing into newspapers. Sometimes on their websites, sometimes with their CSR project. Sometimes, sir, it's basically been showcasted and nominated into news. We need to look forward for it, and we need to do our firm registration into MSME. MSME used to give us newsletters like Rozgar Demand used to give us information about what are the government vacancies are coming up and how we can apply over it. Similarly, MSME is issuing a newsletter, and that newsletter has been reached to us. One thing. Second thing, chartered accountant, and third is the bank. Bank is the primary source, sir. They'll if we have good networking, and the best part is above all is the networking, sir. When you have networking with people, people will let you know that XYZ is actually been going to do for seed funding, or you can connect with NSRCL cell into Bangalore. They'll also provide good sourcing, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. And the presentation was very nice, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my honor, sir. Thank you so much for appreciating. Okay. So, Parul ma'am.
Participants, any doubts from your side?
Anyone else has any doubt? Okay. Okay, Priyanka ma'am, if required, Renuka ma'am, if required,
Yes,
you can share me the doubts. I'll try to address the doubts as much as is possible. And if anyone need any help towards their business plan or business project, I'll be here to help you a lot. Yeah, Pooja ma'am, you have any doubt?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the plan which you explained right now, so it is applicable for the education business as well, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Purely.
Okay.
Purely. I've shared the sample Excel file as well, where you need to give, if you're looking forward for funding, then you need to make this extensive 40 pages. If you're looking forward just for the purpose of representing to your class teacher or someone, you can prepare for 10 to 15 pages executive summary part. where you can, with the permission of your teachers, you can eliminate the part of finances, because this will require a huge amount of time duration.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome. So,
I guess there are no doubts from the participants, ma'am.
okay, nice. Ma'am, I've shared the slides and the details with the Parul ma'am. Hopefully,
Yes,
ma'am
ma'am.
will share into the group. So sooner you'll get,
Sure.
because I'll be having certain Windows. I have actually Windows 11 earlier. Now I'll shift it to Windows 10 because of the projector connectivity into my classrooms and other things. That's why this project activation is not been actively today in my laptop. That's why I shared with Parul ma'am. Once ma'am will go through with it, then she'll be sharing into the classrooms. So you'll be getting the notes today itself, all of you. I hope all the best for you people. Thank you so much, Research Foundation of India, Dr. Parul, for inviting me as a guest. And I really been love to help all the people whomsoever requiring any kind of help with respect to the business plan or entrepreneurship cell. I'll be surely able to guide you people. Thank you so much once again to the Renuka ma'am for conducting effectively and smoothly this session. Thank you. Thank you so much, participants.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am,
you,
for the
ma'am.
wonderful session. Thank you so much. You have clarified all the doubts and you're ready to help also. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. And thank you. Yes, thank you, all the participants.
Thank
So
you.
tomorrow, yes, ma'am. Tomorrow we'll meet for the day 3 session. Thank you, ma'am. Good
Yeah,
evening to all.
thank you. Good evening to all. Thank you.